I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm a white guy from the South. Yeah. But here's the bigger secret. Martin Luther King Jr. was my first African American hero. And I mean that. And let me say, I was raised in a pretty racist home. I mean, I really thought blacks were inferior, dumber than whites. And my family was as dumb as they come, but yet, I guess that's what racism does to you. And I was too young. I was actually 6 years old when he gave the I Have a Dream speech, and I don't remember that so much. But as I started school and his name began, you would hear it more and more, and I began to realize, wow, these are pretty classy people. And so as I grew older, and then of course when schools were integrated, I think I was in the 3rd grade at that time, so what is that, 8, 9, 10 years old. That's when blacks came into the school. My first black friend, I remember him dearly, got in trouble for bringing him to my house. But here's my point. You know, with all the hubbub of what happened with the 50th anniversary and all the terrible things like no Republicans spoke, who cares about that? What I want to say to African Americans is this. Martin Luther King Jr., for me, and I'm sure for many others, he broke down so many barriers and so much of what racism had put up in our hearts. And he was very successful, and others with him, in tearing a lot of that down. And we all should be grateful for that. Now, are we as far as we should be? Of course not. Are we always going to have, room to grow? Absolutely. But I want to say, as a white guy, I can celebrate what happened 50 years ago and what it represents. Now, I must confess, Hank Aaron eventually became a bigger hero to me than Martin Luther King Jr. However, the point is, this country is not as racist as everybody says that it is. I totally disagree with that. I watch MSNBC all the time, and I'm just amazed at all these white guys, Chris Matthews and Lawrence O'Donnell, Rachel Maddow, just go through the list, Ed Schultz, how they continue to hammer people like me for being racist. And again, is it completely wiped out of my heart? Probably not. But most of it is gone. It's gone. And so I jokingly say a lot of times that I'm a racist. That's only because that's what they call me. Just because I may not agree with Obama on a lot of stuff, and I don't. It's not because he's black. It's because he's liberal and wants big government, which I can't stand. So I hope that maybe the one thing that could come out of this commemoration or the 50 years is that maybe all of us together would say, you know what, racism maybe is not the biggest issue on the table anymore. We need to deal with these issues and understand the difference in liberals and conservatives, which honestly doesn't have a thing to do with race. Thank you, Martin, for that.